easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Kenny. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kina. And give an F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn they stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a Keeta. And expose with cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Y'all just talk, don't live it. And just took that route, that seen it. I'm so outspoken like Reason. Jimmy Neutron, boy, Young G's. And I'm a self-made man out of Sweden. And it's still off top, I'm tweaking. But I still gotta fight my demons. I ain't no good, I'm evil. I ain't been clean since Eden.
Welcome in. Week 15 edition of the Sunday Morning Show. I am your host, Ben Hassan. I'm joined by Anthony Carson this morning. We are here to answer all of your Week 15 questions. DFS, season-long playoffs are going on, prop bets, sports betting. Whatever you guys got for us, we are here to answer, as always. Shout out our sponsors, Owner's Box Fantasy. If you guys have yet to check it out, Owner's Box down online, promo code KARMA gets you a $500 deposit match and a free DFS entry. We have plenty of free content on the website. For Owner's Box, we have actually projections specifically for Owner's Box as well, which makes it really easy to build lineups because it's a little bit different. So I think we are the only people in the industry with Owner's Box projections. So, Anthony, we haven't really talked much. I don't know your thoughts on the slate. I know you're kind of breaking up, so I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
I do have a Wi-Fi issue at my house. I apologize.
Yeah.
It's actually
you're lagging, but if you can hear me, then that's fine.
Yeah, I can hear you perfect. As long as you can hear me, I'm excited.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I've been kind of MIA. Yeah, it's maybe a little lag there, but I like this week a lot. I was kind of busy. I didn't get on the cash process. I don't think I talked to you much about the slate, but I think we mentioned in Discord between your content, Sam's, the projections portal. I mean, I feel pretty good about this week somehow. I don't know. I mean, I think this is like both a good cash week and a good tournament week. I think that's the first time I've said that probably all year. I like a few spots in specific. I think I'm all karma.com along with our projections portal, our ownership projections, and our final thoughts, which is our cheat sheet. You and I are both on Pacheco, which is interesting. I know he's probably going to be owned, but there's a lot of good guys. I guess my main question in cash, Ben, is I really like my lineup, but I've toggled between, as disgusting as it sounds, for like 4 weeks in a row, Latavius Murray yet again. But my God, I mean, we know what he's going to get. I mean, I get he's projecting well on both sites, including our prop site. He's got a good prop, and he's projecting well in our projections portal. But I like Bam Knight, although he isn't getting too many snaps. I mean, am I crazy to be paying down for one of those guys in cash games on DraftKings in specific?
Yeah. So, like I said, if you guys are in the chat, start dropping your questions. We will get to them. We're going to talk about the slate a little bit. I don't think you're crazy. I actually spent down a little bit at running back as well. But I think if you're spending in the 5K tier, Isaiah Pacheco is like far and away the best option. 32-point team total, extremely bad run defense. I think McKinnon is viable too for tournaments, but I just don't see why they're not going to just run Pacheco hard, especially in the second half of this game if they're winning by a lot. I think he has a really, really good path to getting 100 yards, and he's under 6K. So I think if I was spending in that range, I would go with Pacheco, I think.
You're playing him in cash. That's interesting. I mean,
I think he's a good player.
I love him this week too. I'm with you. I mean, I actually am overweight on him. I don't know, Ben, if you're dabbling in the FanDuel actually has like their fun tournament of the year. I made 3 lineups. I'm including my main lineup there and 2 tournaments. I haven't even fully constructed. I mean, I have them, but I'm overweight Pacheco there as well as I guess DraftKings. It's just not in my main DraftKings lineup. So that's interesting to hear. Yeah, a lot of good props on guys. Like I said, I'm looking at betkarma.com. A lot of this stuff's free, guys. You hop on over there. There's all kinds of tools, simulations, and all that jazz. Of course, there's some premium stuff that we'd love for you guys to subscribe because the website is growing very fast and it's very cheap. Yeah, there's just a lot of good guys. Like, I think I might be avoiding Connor in cash on DraftKings, but playing him on FanDuel, Ben. Like, what are your thoughts there? Because that's a question I have as well. Like, I get it. He's an amazing play. I'm probably playing him on FanDuel, but I don't know. Like, he was in my lineup earlier in the week in DraftKings cash games, but what's your thoughts there? Because I'm like playing Henry. I'm just playing Henry, which we're all on Henry.
Yeah, if you're watching the video on YouTube, please like the stream. We do appreciate it. But I think James Conner's a great play for his price. I mean, massive volume, overall highest snap share of all running backs.
Yeah.
In the NFL over the last few weeks, but I couldn't really fit him in on DK and FanDuel. I think he is easier to fit, but I don't think I ended up with him there either. On DraftKings, I think you kind of have to pick between him and Kamara, unless you drop off of Jacobs or Henry, who I think both are gonna, have ownership. We really like Henry. And Jacobs is projecting for pretty high ownership too. So I think if you're going to play James Conner on DK, it's kind of just a weird build, and I think I prefer Kamara, right? Or am I wrong in that? All right, AC is gone. I think it was only a matter of time.
I get it. Like if you go with like a very tight core and you can thread the needle, when you're building 3-4 GPPs, I got to admit, like those weeks you guys go off. Like, I think Sam actually does a good job of it. So does Matt and you to an extent too. I kind of tend to hedge around a little bit more. So at least I have a really good sweat, which hasn't really paid off for me this year as much. But I think my core is even a little bit tighter this week because I love Kamara. Like I want to play him everywhere. I want to play him in every lineup. It's kind of how I feel. I mean, I'm not going to play him in every lineup, but is that kind of your vibe on him? Because, he just seems, like an amazing smash play, right? I mean, there's 6,800. I mean, there's nobody behind him. Isn't that what we want? Dome game, home game against a terrible run D.
Yeah, I mean, historically, when Ingram's been out, I mean, he's just been so good. I actually don't really have much of him in tournaments though. I'm kind of going with Miles Sanders over him for like a little bit lower ownership, but
like that.
Cash games. Matt likes your glasses. So shout out to Matt in the chat. And CJ said his interest in the chat. CJ said my Pacheco interest is fading. CJ, provide some analysis to us as to why you are not as interested in Pacheco. I'm curious your thoughts on that.
No, I think Pacheco is not going to be as highly owned as we think. I mean, that's just. I mean, maybe.
No, why would people?
He's the same price.
I don't know. I mean, why would people want to play him? I don't see why people would want to play him. The game log isn't super good, which people look at, and then even if you just look at the basic projections that everyone uses, I mean, he's not going to project over even, Latavius Murray or Zonovan Knight, James Conner, Alvin Kamara. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he'll get owned, but. Yeah. Oh, CJ says CJ says his interest is fading because of how much you like him, AC. Dude, I'm on him too. So let's come on. Let's go.
I mean, you like him a lot too, Ben. He's in your main lineup. He's in both.
He's in both of my cores that I typed in. Well, my cores are already up. So if you guys want to see who I'm playing today, dfskarma.com/NFL, you can still sign up.
Can CJ get in our chat later tonight so me and you control him when Pacheco
Yeah,
has like
he's going off. I think he's going off today.
Pacheco, here's how I think about it, right? Like it's all about pricing. Like I really don't. I love talking talent and players and schemes and all that, but it's always about pricing. I mean, yes, he's not going to see that many catches, but he's 5,900 and Ben, to your point, and at 31.5. I mean, that's ridiculous, that team total. That's got to be the highest of the year. There's a lot of coach speak there. Like he easily can drop 28 at 5,900. I mean, you're going way over the value ratings, and then the rest of your lineup is just unlocked. I think that's kind of the angle you're going for this week, Ben.
Yeah, see, you guys in the chat have it all wrong because Matt and I talk about this all the time. AC actually has a deal with the devil somehow, and when he plays guys, they go off. I mean, he's won the most money of all of us. So while you guys like to troll him when he comes on here, he does have the most career winnings of anybody on here, and he somehow has this deal with the devil because, like, there's been multiple times this season where he touts Zeke Elliott, who I think is a terrible play, and Zeke Elliott goes off like Thanksgiving Day.
You gotta admit, Ben.
Yeah. So it's like you guys are wanting to fade, but like, yeah, Christian Watson, you guys want to fade, but I don't know, dude. Somehow AC always hits on this kind of stuff. So I actually I don't like when him and I have the same full team, but if he's all in on a player and I also like the player, then that might be like a good sign. Kevin says, is Aguilar still a low end value? Yeah, talk to me, AC. Talk to me about the Patriots receivers too while you're talking here.
Yeah, on in our Discord chat, this is under the premium. A lot of times we change it up, right? We do a lot of talking in the free chat, which you guys can access. Like, hop into our freaking Discord if you're not already there. There's literally over 4,500 people in there now. There is a lot of free talk, but like Ben saying, when there's a lot of money on the line, sometimes we start talking in the premium channel. And I mentioned, I think my highest dollar GBP stack of the week is a double barrel stack with Matt Jones, Myers, who you like a lot, Ben. I see he's in both your lineups. I'm considering him in cash or Zay Jones. I think they're the same. And then I'm keeping Aguilar in there because I think the DFS narrative, people were probably on him all week in cash games. And this stuff happens at times. And then some new, and it's like inverse, right? Sometimes we go all in on a guy. Now nobody's going to play Aguilar. So two cheap guys. Mac Jones could go off, like I said. Then you could play both Adams and Jacobs. I did that a few weeks ago, and I had an amazing Burrow double stack. And, like, of course, I think it was the 1 week that Josh Jacobs did not go off, right? So you could soak up a lot of points if that game goes off, which it looks decently high paced, right? I like that a lot. And keeping Aguilar, but more of a tournament lineup, not cash.
Yeah, dude, these people disrespect you. I understand, but I mean, Matt had a big week last week, but I mean, you can scroll. I don't think these people know who you are, AC. I mean, they could scroll back for the last 6 years of the countless over $100,000 wins that you've put up. I mean, it's.
I think it's reverse trolling. Like they know how much money.
Dude, I don't know. Maybe they're newer and they don't know. I don't know.
If they're not in our
scroll back to the 6-year history of the company of AC. Just absolutely.
Let me expedite their reverse engineering skills since everybody's lazy these days. How about you go to Instagram? And I was on Instagram before anybody ever got on there with the DFS bubble, the sports betting bubble. And we got a decent following on there. I don't think we have as many like impressions as we would like since the beginning of time. But if you just scroll back, there's all the screenshots saved, strategically saved throughout the years. You can go figure out who DFS Karma and AC Karma Sports is on FanDuel and DraftKings, and then check out all those winnings. Okay, keep going, Ben. We're having a good pod right now.
Yeah. Okay, so as far as Patriots guys go, because I saw another question about Aguilar. I think Aguilar's fine for tournaments still because Parker's still out, and he's kind of been the second guy. Like, I don't think I'd be playing any Kendrick Bourne or Thornton or anything, but I think Aguilar's still fine for tournaments. I like Jacoby Myers a lot for cash games, 4,700. I mean, he's going to be the WR1 for them today. Really, really good matchup against Vegas.
Ben, so you prefer him over Zay Jones? Because I'm having a tough time with that.
Yeah, so Luke was talking about Zay in chat. So that's an interesting – I think that's an interesting conversation. I think Sam has – when I last looked at projections, Sam had Zay like it was like 1 point above Myers, I think. So
That's kind of how my brain feels. I feel like Zay
I think I
has
like Jacoby, but
more up. Yeah, Jacoby seems he's just the knock on Zay Jones is he doesn't score touchdowns. But guess what? The knock on Jacoby Myers
yeah,
is?
they're similar players. I feel like at this current juncture though, like Zay still does have to compete with Christian
Oh,
Kirk and Evan Ingram, but I'm pretty confident Jacoby Myers will probably lead them in targets today. And the matchup it's like the nut matchup.
yeah.
I mean, Vegas is so bad in the secondary.
Another thing that I historically use this late in the season, like, yeah, we have all the analytics we want. Like, I'm looking at both our websites right now, and then there's stuff that you guys can all Google on your own. But hashtag team watch the tape, right, Ben? So I have this visual memory on what was it, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, where I took a snapshot and I said, all right, if Baker can sling it on the Raiders, which I feel like everybody is doing every week anyways, which again, you can follow in the numbers. I wanted the mental note of who plays them next and who's playing them every week from here on out. Oh, Mac Jones. So that was kind of like leading down that tree. To your point, like on Myers, I mean, he is such a good play. But I wanted to circle back for a cash game decision. I'm going to ask you, gun ahead, just shoot right now. Latavius Murray or Zonovan Knight?
Oh man, I think it's probably Knight only because I have more confidence in them putting up more points than I do the Broncos. I know the Lions' run D has been solid, but Zonovan Knight catches passes, and man, as much as I love this Lions team, I do think the Jets win this game. So,
dude, I've never heard a better answer from you in my life. You hit every nail on the head that I was looking for. Number one, I'm looking at a projections portal, which is a premium product. Right now, Zonovan Knight, when you sort by karma value, and that's what we tell everybody in our community, sort by karma value, not only for NFL, PGA, NBA, MLB. Zonovan Knight right now, we project is the best value on DraftKings. That's kind of where my head was at. That's what I led the show with because I feel like I can almost get the James Conner production. I feel like I can get that production with them. To your point, I think the Jets win the game. And I also, you brought something up that I didn't think you were. I mean, I know you know this, but again, for the haters out there that don't think we know what we're doing or whatever. So, yes, I want to go when I'm coin flipping. I tend to go with the team that has a more implied points, is lame and is sounds, but you got to keep going, right, and unveiling the layers because I think Ben Latavius will be more owned. I honestly think that in cash games. I feel like he's going to be higher owned, but give me the team. Look, I'm looking at karma.com, just the live trends tool. There's a lot of money coming in on the Jets and more implied points as well. So for a coin flip, I'm going to the Jets over Latavius Murray, who I think is going to be higher owned.
Yeah, RJ brought up a good point. Nelson Aguilar revenge game. Fine with that in tournaments for sure.
Yeah.
And then CJ asked, is Chris Moore a lock in DraftKings cash? I kind of agree with what RJ said. I do think he's a lock in cash. Do I really want to play him in tournaments? Probably not. I mean, you can still use him as a correlation piece. Like if you're using McKinnon or Pacheco in tournaments, you can use Moore on the other side. But yeah, I would just plug him in for cash games and then, you don't have to play him in tournaments. But he's so cheap. Everyone would play him. And if he goes off and you don't have him, you're probably screwed. If he doesn't do anything and you have him, it doesn't really matter because he's 4,200 and everyone played him. So
Sam needs to update the projections portal because Nelson Aguilar is still our highest projected karma value by a wide margin. I mean, yeah, he's a good play, but he's not that good.
With Myers back, that definitely changes some things. Bitter asks, tough to get a read on good versus bad chalk, especially with the value. Who are you on and who are you avoiding? So I think guys I really want, or at least must plays for me, cash. Alvin Kamara, Chris Moore. On speaking DraftKings specifically, Alvin Kamara and Chris Moore are probably like lock and loads, and I might put Jacoby Myers in there as well, on DK because I really like him at his price, and then I guess Keenan Allen for me. Do you have Keenan Allen? Because I didn't really. I like Mike Williams more than Keenan Allen for tournaments, but I built out my cash lineup and I was like assuming I would have Mike Williams in it, but I had the money to get to Keenan Allen. So I was like, I'll probably just play him. I mean, he's so safe in terms of like his catches and stuff. I think Mike Williams definitely has a higher ceiling, but it was pretty like he just fit in my lineup. So I'll probably have Keenan Allen today.
I'm playing him because he's the boring cash play that we play historic. Yeah, he's a great play, but I'm way overweight Mike Williams in tournaments, which I think everybody will be. But
yeah, it's like the nut spot for Big Mike. CJ, DraftKings cash, Brady, CeeDee Lamb versus Mahomes, Jacoby Myers. I would take the second one. Love Brady in tournaments, but I don't think you need to.
By the way,
in cash games.
Chris Moore, he's a lock in cash games.
Yeah,
I'm actually a little bit overweight on him in tournaments too. Probably even to the field, I guess. I don't know, maybe a little bit more overweight, but I don't want. That's what to start.
I think I have him on one of 3 tournament teams.
But normally, I would fade a guy like that in tournaments, but he seems like a really good play. And then obviously the easy pivot, I think he's gonna be relatively decently owned, is Amari Rodgers at 3,200. If he projects well, even in our portal, he obviously has upside. So I mean, that's like the easy Staples button pivot off of Chris Moore.
Herbert, Mike Williams, or Dak Lamb. Prodigy. I don't know if that's for cash or tournaments. If it's tournaments, you could take the second one, but I prefer the first one. I just prefer the first one straight up. I like the Chargers more than the Cowboys today. I think Justin Herbert's going to end up getting steamed. I could see that happen in RJ. I mean, he's one of the best projections. I mean, everyone knows like how bad Tennessee's been against the pass. I have Herbert in my main team, so I think that could definitely happen. But it's a really good spot. What's your take on Justin Herbert today, AC?
Yeah, we never play him in cash games like ever. Either do I. I mean, his price was like meh. So I was like, all right, it fits. And I think that's kind of the exact analysis you gave, but more analytical. 7,200.
I think if the Patriots running back stuff would have worked out, I think less people would have played Herbert because it would have been easier to get to Mahomes. Because we would have had a $4,000 running back. But since we don't have the $4,000 running back, I definitely could see Herbert being higher owned than like Mahomes because of the $1,000 less in salary.
I got to admit, I haven't seen. I'm at betkarma.com looking. I'm sorting by his props comparison, and 300 is his prop at draft. He's getting the bonus.
Yeah.
So that's 30 yards rushing. That's how I think about it. You're always looking.
It's such a good spot. Such a good spot. DraftKings cash 3v3. Mahomes, Williams, Okonkwo versus Herbert, Keenan, Dulcich. That's tough.
I have the exact combo. Mine's the Herbert, Dulcich.
That's tough. Yeah. You could definitely go either way. I think Chig's probably going to be a little bit higher owned than Dulcich.
He is. I know. He is. Frustrates me. But
that's really close.
I'm going to take the pain with Dulcich once again, Ben. Just continue to strike the knife in me. Because I play this guy every week, and I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I like Dulcich. Melissa just asked about him. I think he's a great play. I mean, his props about 40 yards. I think we have him for closer to 50. Cortland Sutton's out. Kendall Hinton, their slot receivers, out. Yes, it's a backup quarterback, but Russ has been bad every game except for last game. So I don't think it matters. And Arizona's like one of the 2 or 3 best matchups for tight ends in all of football. So if he's going to get there it's probably this week.
Ben, I don't know if you were not on that game as much. I don't know if you hinted that, but I like my favorite game of the slate is the Jags-Cowboys game. Like all things considered, talking more tournaments, just everybody from that game.
Yeah, I don't really have much of that game, so I don't know if it goes off. Probably a long day for me unless I can win cash games. I don't have my turn. Well, who is your like? I see that you love Cowboys like for your core plays, but like, is that like your main tournament team or?
My main tournament team on dollar volume wise is Mac Jones right now. The game stack of the Raiders and the Patriots.
I don't even hate that, man. I really don't. I talked a lot of trash about Mac Jones on the pod I did with Sam, but I mean he's so cheap. You can make so much stuff work with him. So I kind of came around on it a little bit.
Cheap. Yeah.
I actually,
everything comes down to pricing. Right?
I actually prefer Zach Wilson to Mac Jones. I made a Zach Wilson team, so
yeah, I saw that. I mean, that's scary, man. I'm not gonna lie. That's
so scary.
Well, I hope you don't have
the Jets have a higher team total than the Patriots, and I think the Jets are going to win the game. And if they win the game, I mean, I think Zach Wilson's going to have to do something. We did see him. He had one good game this year, and he had like 2 good games last year. So he can do it. And if he's going to do it, it's this matchup because Detroit's secondary is bad. Like their run defense has been playing better, but not good.
I hope your team does well because they're going to be so low owned. Again, I just hope you don't have. Well, your line. I'm looking at the core plays right now. Like you could be fine, I guess, no matter what, because you have really nice upside. But I'm playing Elijah Moore in like one of my tournament rosters. I think Elijah Moore is with my own.
I wanted to use him. So when I sat down to build that team, I actually was going to make it a Mac Jones team because I wanted Devontae Adams. But then the more I looked at it, I was like, I can just play Zach Wilson because I thought I was going to use Elijah Moore, and I like fit Garrett Wilson in. I didn't need the salary. So I was like, yeah, whatever. RJ, you're going with Dulcich. I agree with you. I think he's better. I think he's the best tight end play for cash.
I will say that, maybe you win $1 million off this, and like this is like etched in stone forever, and it's like a clip that goes viral. But I'm looking at your core play. Like that is a core play. I gotta admit that you can like literally win $1 million worth. Like you can take down.
Yeah, it's like it's more. I would say it's more random than the stuff I normally play.
It's good pivots, really good ceilings. Again, you can tell that it's like methodically thought out. Again, if you guys are subscribers, like. You can easily just see how we're thinking at my next event, and we have the other guys shortly. But yeah, I really like your core. Potentially is like either a last place or a first place type lineup, right? I really do.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys, CJ just has season long. If you guys have season long playoff questions, go ahead, drop them. We'll get to them. I'm in the playoffs of my main league. And I think I'm going to win because I had Kirk Cousins, and I was losing my mind yesterday, AC, when he had not even a full point at halftime and then ended up with 45. So that was good. And then our old friend Rube, my friend and I are in his Dynasty League. It's best ball. We have a bye week. We have the best team in the league, but we have a bye week this week. So I'm sitting on the sidelines of that one. But to answer your question, yeah,
I think I am on delay, but tell Rube to start a Dynasty League. I want to be in a big Dynasty League.
Yeah, we're in one. If anyone leaves, I'll let him know. You can get in there because this is like with a bunch of people he knows and stuff. But I think it's 12 teams. But it's been pretty competitive. I just made a big trade with Sam actually. Yeah, Sam's in there, and he had a bad year this year. Who did we trade? He traded me. Oh, he traded me Mike Williams, and he traded me Mike Williams and Rashad White for some picks. But
I have a season-long question to you from me, a Valentine's Day card. I mean, luckily for me, I'm the heavy favorite going into this week, but he had 3 players that played. Josh Allen, Dawson Knox, Dalvin Cook.
Oh, no.
I'm done.
Yeah, so you're toasted.
I do have Mahomes. I got to admit, I have Mahomes. My lineup is just stacked. I mean, every week, like it's like an amazing lineup. But of course, I have bad matchups this week. I am shooting a dart here. I mean, I have Mahomes, and with correlation, I picked up Chris Moore, who was in the free agency, and I might play him over Juju because my thought is if Mahomes absolutely goes off, I mean, Chris Moore just projects so well, and there's so many Chiefs. Like, would you actually bench Juju for Chris Moore? PPR. There is a 100-yard bonus for the 100 for the if getting over 100. I rigged the league long ago. The league doesn't realize it. I gave it DraftKings rules. So
yeah, I would probably play Chris Moore, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think it correlates. I know you get the stack with Mahomes, but like you said, if he, I don't know. I don't see how Houston doesn't have to just throw the ball a ton. So, yeah. Anyways, hold on. Let me. Where's that question at, CJ? Antonio Gibson, Cordero Patterson, or Nelson Aguilar for half PPR?
Gibson, I feel like. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. If
He's
I was in that
involved a ton.
position, if I was in that position, I would probably play Patterson maybe and just hope that they switch to Ritter and like they just keep pounding the ball. But I mean, Antonio Gibson's fine. I feel like Brian Robinson is really gonna. We've kind of seen it before when the rookies come off by. You know, like I feel like they're just gonna feed Brian Robinson tonight. But that's tough. That's real tough. PPR Watson or Evans? Who would you pick, AC? I know your Watson's kind of your boy. I really think Brady's gonna have a good day though. I really do.
Yeah, but I wouldn't play him this week. Yeah, I'm
It's
not
kinda-
Evans.
it's-
You got to take it for the weather angle alone. You know, Tampa or negative.
Yeah. I think it's Evans. Need to start 2 of these 3 for PPR. Bam Knight, Juju, or Stevenson. I think you play Stevenson and Knight, to be honest.
You have to pick 2.
Yeah, Bam Knight, Stevenson, Juju needs 2.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. I have Bam Knight. I have the ability to play Juju. I guess I should ask you that, Ben. In my flex, I have Bam Knight in there. I mean, am I overthinking it? Or Bam Knight? What would you do?
No, I'd play Knight. I'd play Knight, I think.
Or Rashad White. I mean, I don't know why I'm playing him every week. It's not like he's a lock.
I don't know. I like. Oh God, it's like so crazy how thin like these picks are when you get to like the playoffs. Like this is why I like best ball because you know you don't have to think about it. But I don't know. Someone else asked about Patterson. I don't think I'd play him much in DFS really, but you know he does always seem to like. I come on here and I say that all the time, and then he like scores 2 touchdowns randomly. So I mean, if you want to play him, I won't say no. This is a good question from RJ. Do you think people will play Chase more than Jacobs because they are similar, 81 versus 83 on DK?
No, they're gonna play Jacobs.
I think Jacobs will definitely be higher owned, for sure. But I don't know. I just don't love the spot for him. I love Josh Jacobs. I played him a lot this year. But it's such a tough matchup. I mean, New England, second lowest points per game allowed to opposing running backs. He's banged up, and I mean he's been banged up for weeks, and that hasn't really stopped them from feeding him. But it's just such a bad. It's like one of the worst matchups he could have. So I feel like, you know, why should he be higher owned than Henry or Chase? You know, who are both in really good matchups. I think we have Henry projected above Jacobs anyways too. So Conklin or Chig, DraftKings Cash, Joseph, you're taking Chig all day, I think, for sure. Hurts and Jacoby Myers or Mahomes, Zay Jones, FanDuel Cash. That's a great question. That's really, really close, Matt. I would say oh boy. I think I would take the first one. But that's very, very close. Do you have a lean there, AC? Hurts and Jacoby Myers or Mahomes and Zay Jones?
All right, Hurts. Is he going to be 5% owned this week again? Like, I don't understand. I just play him every week, and
yeah,
these weeks
I think he'll be owned on FanDuel, but DK probably not. You think Chase will be higher on? I mean, he very well could be. It's not a good matchup for Jacobs. Like, never once this whole week have I even early week he's projecting the best, like projecting highest owned. I've literally never once considered playing Josh Jacobs in cash. So I mean, there's a very good chance he just ends up not being owned because it's literally a terrible matchup. So, but I prefer Henry over. I prefer Henry over Chase, Jacobs, Adams. It's literally the nut matchup. Chargers. Horrible against the run. It's only a 3-point spread. Dontrell Hilliard's out, so there's a chance that he doesn't really lose that much third down work. And we've seen it. I mean, Derrick Henry was left for dead a few weeks ago. And what's he do? It comes out last week. He runs for over 100 yards in the first half and just gets game scripted out of the game in the second half. And I mean, we have it at, around 40% for the Titans to win that game. If they're winning, I mean, he's going to absolutely dominate. And I think Chase is a great play too. I don't think you can really go wrong, but I mean, am I wrong for preferring Henry to Chase? I mean, I think I like Henry more than anyone else on the slate. I mean, like you pointed out yesterday, see his rush receiving prop is almost 120 yards, which is absolutely insane. Season long, Evan Ingram or Dallas Goedert? I don't think I would trust Goddard.
It's my favorite prize picks play of the day. Like pair him up with Justin Herbert for the. It's literally, dude. You see their
Who, Henry?
lagging.
Yeah, you're like, are you? I assume you're talking about Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's the best play of the slate. Like that's why when we came on here, I was like, what are we missing this week? Like I'm playing Josh Jacobs with my Mac Jones lineup only because, like I said, I'm game stacking it, and it's like my way of not going bankrupt tonight if Josh Jacobs does what he's been doing. But yeah, it's like the easiest play ever. Like, why wouldn't you just play Henry at the same price? I don't get it. It's like the nut matchup, right?
I know. Yeah, and RJ, to your point, I do think Henry will be lower owned than Jamar Chase. And I mean, I don't really weigh stuff like that. Like, I build my cash team and like I want to have chalk, but I mean, I don't try to build like this season especially. There's been so many trains. A couple weeks, like we've been on it on these smaller slates because it's just been obvious, like that's the way to go. But I don't try to build the same team as everybody. Like I think Derrick Henry's the best play in the slate. I have conviction with that. I'm going to play him. I don't care. Who else is playing? But to your point, I do think Henry probably will be lower owned than Chase. I do think Eckler's not going to be owned at all. Like, I don't know. What do you think Eckler's going to come in at? I mean, it's probably 10 or less, right? I mean, I don't really think anyone's playing Eckler.
Not even 10. Some of the super sharps will have exposure to him, but yeah.
You can stack him with Herbert too. Just,
yeah.
Instead of Keenan or Mike Williams, like you could just use Eckler. Owner's box lineup. Yeah, we'll run through one. I don't. Travis isn't hosting this. I don't have the capabilities of switching it on, but we can make one real quick. Owner's box down online. Promo code Karma. Get your deposit match, and your free entry. You can use this lineup on your free entry. Also, shout out Argentina, still up 2-0, 77th minute. Messi is going to get his well-deserved World Cup, solidifying his status as the best player of all time. Frosty and I both bet Argentina to win pre-tournament. We talked about it on our World Cup podcast. We did. Argentina was going to win, so hopefully they hold on in these last 15 minutes or so. But, yeah. All right,
you must be happy about that.
Oh, I'm very happy about that, yes. Yeah. But I wanted I don't know, man. People are like just hate on Messi for some reason. I don't understand. It's like, I don't know. I don't know why people disrespect the best player of all time, but regardless, owner's box. Is there any stacks you really, really like, AC, you want to put in? Because I have the pricing pulled up here.
Yeah, pull up your pricing because my app's not loading right now.
Yeah,
just plug in Derrick Henry. Start with Derrick Henry.
Okay. Put him in. So if we're playing Derrick Henry, I think we just play Herbert. And then I think you want Mike Williams, right, for tournaments over Keenan?
Yeah, I love him.
Okay, so we definitely need some cheap guys. So, because Herbert 69, Derrick Henry 7K, Mike Williams 6K. So we definitely need some cheapies. I mean, we can plug in like the chalky Chris Moore, who's obviously cheap. He is trying to find him on here. 4,300. We'll plug him in.
No, you know what? Go with Amari Why don't you just go with Amari Rogers?
Okay,
What's
yeah,
the price
yeah.
difference? If there's
No,
no
we
real
can do
difference,
that. We can do that. I'm assuming he's probably cheaper. Trying to find him. Yeah, he's 38 compared to 43. So it does save us some money. That's fine. Do you want to who do you want from the do you want a Chief on the other side or
play your boy Pacheco? I mean, I'm all in on him too. You know, I mean, I get it; it's a PPR site, but he's probably somewhat cheap.
Yeah. All right. So started off, we have Justin Herbert, Derrick Henry, Isaiah Pacheco, Mike Williams, and Amari Rogers. That gives us 5,100 per position for tight end, 2 flex, and super flex. If we use a cheap tight end, I do think we could probably get another stack in.
Yeah, do a cheap tight end. Just punt.
Okay. Well, I'll just put Chig in because it kind of fits with Titans Chargers. He's 38. So that gives us 56 for 2 flex and a super flex. So I do think we could fit another stack in. Not like a Hurts or somebody, but we could probably go. Let's see. Dak is 66. Brady's 62. Dalton is 6K. Zach Wilson's 59.
Dak and Zay Jones.
Mac Jones is 58.
Go with Dak and Zay Jones. Yeah, go with him. We've been talking him up. Maybe stick with the Aguilar. People are going to want to play Myers. I don't know what the price difference is. I mean,
yeah, where's Aguilar at on here?
So there's how many spots left?
Oh, wait, we might have. Oh, wait, let me see. Oh my God, we're 200 off. If we go Mac Jones, Aguilar, we're 200 off Devontae Adams. Let me see if we could go. Where can we save 200 at?
You could go Tyquan Thornton. I mean, that's GPP baller status of
I'm
life.
wondering if I'm trying to see how much
Thornton's a little bit cheaper.
We could if we drop off Pacheco to McKinnon, it works. I don't know if you want to do that though.
Whatever.
I'm looking. Hold on. I'm trying to see if there's any.
Last question.
Yeah. I think that's the only way to make it fit, to be honest. So, Brendan, last minute, Brady Jacobs or Herbert, Big Mike Williams for DraftKings cash. I don't think you need Brady in cash. I would take the second one. If you guys are following along, you're playing on Owner's Box today. Yeah, you don't need Brady in cash.
Big Mike.
If you're following along for Owner's Box, the lineup we had Justin Herbert, because I can't put it up on screen. Justin Herbert at QB. We have Derrick Henry and Jerick McKinnon at our running back spots. We have Mike Williams and Amari Rogers at the receiver spots. We have Chigakonkwo at tight end. We have Nelson Aguilar, Devontae Adams, and Mac Jones rounding out the team. Penalty to France. That's not good. Wait, what? Did they just tie the game up? Oh my God. They just tied up the game. What is going on in the last 3 minutes? I'm getting texts out the ass that I just jinxed it. Oh my God, no way. How
you mushed it.
So I have it up over here. Mbappe. If it goes to PKs, I would lean Argentina, but wow. So Mbappe scores a penalty and then immediately scored right after that. Wow. Unbelievable. All right. Let's fire through these last questions here. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Where did I leave off here? Gallup or Elijah Moore, FanDuel cash. I think Gallup will be kind of chalky on FanDuel because of his price. So probably him. Someone said his stream is delayed. I'm sorry. I have it up on the screen, but I just started getting flooded with text.
It's too cheap.
Dude, they literally scored right after I said that. That's unbelievable. All right. If you guys aren't watching the World Cup, go turn it on because this is going to be absolutely electric to finish. It's going to lead right into It's going to lead right into football. So we appreciate you guys for watching. If you still want access to our core plays, you still have time to sign up. dfskarma.com/NFL, and you can get in the Discord for free, dfskarma.com/chat. I'll be in there answering questions up until lock. AC, I know you got some stuff to do with the family, so good luck to you this week, and good luck to all the viewers.
Thanks.
And we'll see you guys next week.